I think there should be books that are banned in school.
Books like that, yes, that are teaching children wrong moral values.
What about a book that says slavery is okay?
I have never seen a book that said slavery was okay.
If you're familiar with The Good Liars, you probably know where this is going.
What about a book where somebody sells their daughter into slavery for 200 foreskins? Would that be okay?
No, nothing on. No, like I said, good moral values is what needs to be taught. It needs to be brought back in.
Like books like the Bible?
The Bible would be an awesome one.
You think the Bible should be taught in school?
I do. It's history. It should be taught as a history class because that's what it is. It is a history book.
The two things I just said were from the Bible.
Slavery? You're right.
And the selling the daughter for foreskin.
That's true. You got a point there.
Indeed, he does. Out of all the crises our country is currently facing, the Republican Party's attack on and wholesale erosion of our public education system will have the most dire consequences for the country's future. Not only will our children fail to live up to their potential, but people who believe this nonsense will be holding the reins of power and controlling whatever is left of the education system.
The Bible should be taught as like a history book in schools, like as history, Noah's flood, the earth beginning maybe several thousand years ago. Do you think that should be in history and science?
Yes, well, yeah.
So like the Bible is a history book and taught to children.
It tells our history correct, yes.
It may be harsh to say, but if you legitimately believe that the Bible is an accurate historical document and should be taught as a history book, then you belong nowhere near a position of power over public education policy. Our public school system is protected by the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment for a reason, but that's why fundamentalist Christian Republican activists have taken their fight to destroy the separation of church and state through the legal system, where billionaire-funded dark money groups pack state and federal court with friendly judges to push their agenda all the way to the Supreme Court. And you know what happens next? When the 6-3 conservative majority rules.
Pornographic books should be banned in school, yes.
A book that has daughters having sex with their dad, should that be banned in school?
Yes.
So a book that has two daughters getting their dad drunk, having sex with them, that book should be banned in schools.
No, the Bible should not be banned.
Oh, okay.
They're telling histories of what really happened.
But sex with the dad, that story, that's okay for kids?
It's not okay.
It's okay to teach that to kids, that story? It's okay to teach that kid because it's in the Bible? The Bible should be taught in schools?
The Bible should be taught in schools, yes.
Belief always trumps logic and reason when talking to these zealots. And while this lady was quick enough on her feet to recognize Jason Selvig's argument, these Bible thumpers weren't.
I think the Bible should be taught in schools.
Yes.
Yeah?
Most definitely. Because children have gotten away from that, because they have. And it needs to be put back in all the schools, Catholic schools and public schools.
So you want the Bible back in school. Do you think there are books that should be banned from schools?
Yeah, of course.
There is a book that has a story of two daughters getting their father drunk and having sex with them. Would you want that in a school?
No, absolutely. Of course not. Of course not.
No.
That's outrageous.
That's the devil's work. We don't want the devil's work in school.
If you've been paying attention at all over the past decade or so, Republicans have ramped up their efforts to impose fundamentalist Christian values on all aspects of American life, largely in response to societal progress on race relations, LGBTQ plus visibility and acceptance, and most importantly, diminished influence of the church and so-called Christian values on public life, which brings us to this beacon of Christian values.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
I'm wondering what one or two of your most favored Bible verses are and why.
I wouldn't want to get into it because to me that's very personal. The Bible means a lot to me, but I don't want to get into specifics.
Even to cite a verse that you like?
No, I don't want to do that.
You're an Old Testament guy or a New Testament guy?
Probably equal.
Anything to do with school choice, okay. But also, separate from school choice, we're going to take the Department of Education, close it. I'm going to close it. We'll have one person, could be you if you decide to retire.
Okay, Mr. President, here's what bothers me about that. So let's say you have a liberal city, let's Los Angeles, San Diego, and they just decide we're going to get rid of that history. We got new history. This is America built off the backs of slaves on stolen land. And that curriculum comes in.
Then we don't send them money. we would save half of our budget.
Okay.
Just take a second and think about how absurd, insane, ahistorical, and flat out dangerous it is for the potential future president to be campaigning on eliminating the Department of Education and delegating that power to non-qualified, non-certified parents and state officials on the country's most popular news network. You can't even excuse this as an off-script outburst because Trump's been beating this drum for literal months now.
We will return power to parents. Of course you want to return the power, especially when it comes to schools. You will have your power back. I will close the Department of Education and move all education back to the states where it belongs. We were going to do that. We were ready. And then we had the COVID. We're going to end the so-called Department of Education. We might have one desk, one person, just to make sure everyone's speaking English. Got to have a little bit of regulation, you know. Let's try and keep it so that you can only, that we're going to focus on some English. But after that, you can go ahead and do what you're going to do. We're going to cut the Department of Education, let it be run locally. We have this
end the Department of Education?
End it, other than to have a little tiny coordination. You know, it would be nice to make sure that everybody's teaching English.
Yeah.
You know, let them learn English, okay?
I love this.
But no, we're cutting the Department of Education. I was ready to do it before, and then again. And I will shut down the federal Department of Education, and we will move everything back to the states where it belongs and where they can individualize education and do it with the love for their children. Ultimately, we'll live, and you know what we're doing here. I say it all the time. I'm dying to get back to do this. We will ultimately eliminate the federal Department of Education and send education back to Wisconsin and back to the states. We spend more money per pupil than any other country by far, and yet we're at the bottom of the list. Out of 40, we're ranked about number 40. And I'm going to close the Department of Education and move education back to the states. And all they're going to do is they're going to see that the basics are taken care of. You know, we don't want to have somebody get crazy and start teaching a language that we don't want them to teach. But we'll do something with education.
This very well may be the future and potentially last president we have ever had. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Calling out elite people in comedy should be the rule of thumb.
I think Donald Trump's hair is actually another creature. Yeah. The hair's like going, good night, Donald. Good night, Donald. There we go.
Maybe it goes out. It goes out and makes money while he's asleep.
There is something about punching down that feels taboo, and punching up is the way to go.
Crack's not really my thing, but if it was, it would be fine if I was on that side.
Wow.
Don Jr.'s on coke.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. I'm a very stable genius.
It is very important, the work that the Jordan Kleppers are doing, the work that the Good Liars are doing, the work that our team here at the Turks are doing, and many more.
What he does, he secretly puts the marker on the end of the putter, and then he looks like he's marking it, but really, now the mark is 3 feet closer. That's a way easier putt.
He cheats a lot. That if you cheat at golf, you cheat at life. The saying goes for Donald Trump.